Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to our FPI stream. We are back. Um, and now our first stream for the new season. Um, and as we go along, today is actually officially FPL has released the new fixture around 9 a.m. UK time, but 4 p.m. at Malaysian time. So we are excited to be back. Would like to welcome Azmin. How are you? How's your break?
I'm good. I'm good. Alhamdulillah. It's nice to have a break because it gave me a chance to get into my new job. So okay, dapat relax, away from the different stress of FPL. Tapi alhamdulillah, it's. I mean, of course, it's still early. We're not going to play FPL just yet, but it's nice to be back streaming again.
Yep. We are back definitely because today is actually we want to run through a bit on the fixture that has been released. Okay, I think we're going to do at least a quick one. Okay, on the opening matches at least, and then we delved into the first 8 matches, so we can see there's a potential which team that we should target. Okay, and then at the same time you can see that we have some new look, new background for the new season, and then we have new montage. So we are actually excited to be back.
That's right. Definitely. And nice to see. Well done. Good job.
Okay, man. As you can see here, these are the opening matches for game week 1, and we can see there. I think on Friday night itself, we'll start on the first match of the season. Crystal Palace will welcome Arsenal to their fortress. And
London
then on Saturday,
Derby.
London Derby. Yep. And then we can see the newcomers from Championship. Fulham will host Liverpool on Saturday, early kickoff. Also, Bournemouth will also host Aston Villa as the newcomer. And then we have the usual teams from the previous Premier League team, like
Survivor.
Leeds versus survival of the last match of the season, Leeds versus Wolves. We have Leicester versus Brentford. We're also going to have Newcastle versus Forest, who actually qualified through the playoff. Well done to the Forest team. And now they will visit Newcastle on the first match. And then absolutely Spurs versus Southampton. Okay. I can see that there's a prospect on captaincy as the first match. Okay. But I won't deny Liverpool also will offer the same captaincy option.
Yeah.
And then Everton versus Chelsea, Lampard will welcome back his former team back to Goodison Park. Then on Saturday itself, Manchester United versus Brighton and West Ham versus Man City, where Haaland should be the prospect to start off for Man City. So what you can make up, from the first game week match?
Well, firstly, among the three promoted sides, we got Fulham. Welcome back to the Premier League again. Bournemouth, welcome back to the Premier League again. But Nottingham Forest, who we have not seen in the first division for ages, since before I was born, and I think
Yep, it is.
Yeah. So anyway, but the thing is, just on the face of looking at match week 1, not looking at the like the top 16 feet, there are a few fixtures that obviously stand out immediately, and they've, as you mentioned, Liverpool versus Fulham is one of them. Simply because it's a league side, and then of course you've got Mitrovic again, but we've seen how he seems to thrive in the Championship, and masuk Premier League terus jatuh, tak boleh. So anyway, but so Liverpool should be able to start off with a win, but let's not forget it's still in the middle of the transfer season. There's still plenty of movement. Nampak macam Sadio Mane will go to Bayern Munich. It looks gone. I think they're just stretching out the personal term. But even Salah, we're not sure. So if anything, we know that with Mane, they've already lined up the replacement in Darwin Nunez. Yeah, so it shows that Liverpool are planning, are getting ready. So if Salah looks like he will make a move, then Liverpool will probably have someone else. But regardless, the point is, if the fixture is still favorable for Liverpool, so it just depends on who you play. Okay. Other than that, Bournemouth, Aston Villa. So we know that Aston Villa are now, they've had it under the new manager. So will they push and kick on? They've strengthened as well during the season. During the past season, they've made Coutinho's transfer permanent, for example, and they brought in a few new players as well. Looking down there, Newcastle versus Nottingham Forest, I think that'd be a match that people will be looking in great interest. Of course, we know that Newcastle are the rich kids of the Premier League now, so
Yep.
how they reinforce, but we saw even with only a few new players in last season, they did really well with Gutierrez. Sorry, what's his name? Good.
Bruno. Is
Bruno,
it?
Bruno. That's right. Yes, yeah.
Bruno G. Yeah.
Yeah, and if with Wilson back, everyone's fit and firing, then it'll be interesting to see how they go. So, with all the transfer thing, that's why the Spurs Southampton match looks like a great place for your captaincy, as you mentioned, simply because we know that Kane isn't going anywhere. He's staying, isn't he? so
Yep.
so at home against Southampton is good. Chelsea that should be a good match for Chelsea as well. I really don't see Lampard really doing well against his former team, not with the squad that he has. The Manchester United Brighton match is, we're not sure, are we? A lot of
Yep.
Manchester.
We didn't look of the new manager and
Yeah.
how will Manchester set up for this game, but definitely Manchester want to avenge the 4-0 defeat. I think the last time. Yep.
Yes, that's right. But remember that Brighton last season they started off really well. At one point they were, like in the top, right at the top of the league. Getting solid wins in a row. So they were doing quite well under Graham Potter, who at one point it was rumored he might be poached somewhere else, but he's still there. Okay, so that leaves the West Ham Manchester. We'll talk about the fixture list longer, but right now that doesn't, on the face of it, it doesn't look easy against for Manchester City, because we were all looking at Haaland and
Yep.
well, City assets in general, but we'll see, because are West Ham capable of doing being as consistent as they did last season? So we're not sure. I'm not sure. Are they capable? Can Moyes do it again? But
Yep.
it will be interesting. It will be interesting end to the match. To the week.
Yep.
So there
You
you
can
go.
see that's the last match of the week itself. So it'll be. I think that could be easily the toughest match between both teams. West Ham, if let's say we take into consideration last season, they're doing quite well. If let's say they can replicate the same performance, Bowen, or if there is any new addition from West Ham, we know West Ham what they can do. They actually almost defeat Man City at the point. So it will be an interesting match, man. But I still feel it's gonna be tough. It's not gonna be a rollover for Man
Mm,
City.
yeah. And we didn't. Okay, so I didn't. I think I didn't really talk about that Crystal Palace Arsenal match. Even that one, um,
Yep.
it could be good for Crystal Palace. We saw how Arsenal floundered towards the end of the season, only finish and end up finishing off the Champions League spot. And we last season with Palace, we weren't sure with Patrick Vieira whether he'll be able, especially with him with the players that he had, but somehow he managed to galvanize them and to play as a team, and they did well with some upsets along the way. So it'll be interesting. However, he will not be without Conor Gallagher, for example. Yeah, so Conor Gallagher's gone back to Chelsea.
Hmm.
So
We
we'll see
are
what
still
happens.
not sure, right? He could return back to Crystal Palace, but we're still not
Who
sure
knows?
what's the plans.
Because Chelsea is still, there's that midfield. It could still be considered a surplus. I don't know what Tuchel will do with that Chelsea, how he plans
Yep.
to refresh. Remember that Chelsea won the Champions League last season. The season before.
Yep.
Yeah. So and then this season they didn't perform as well without any cup. So it'll be interesting to see what Tuchel does to get back into the frame.
Yep, I can see easily the new promoter, especially Fulham and Bournemouth, playing home on the opening matchup. They definitely will get gear up for these matches. If not, it's going to be tough, but we can see they
Yeah.
definitely have a lot of motivation to perform.
I like the look of Bournemouth though. I'll be I'll be I'll be keen to see how Scott Parker lines up for Bournemouth's first match, and we to see with the there are a few familiar assets. We know that who's that guy?
Is it
Dominic
Wilson?
Solanke.
Okay,
Dominic
all right.
Solanke
Okay, yeah,
was
yeah.
previously, he was terrible
Okay.
when we was with him last time, but now he's come to the fore, and even the likes of David Brooks. Uh, remember he
He's
did
still
he
there, is it? Okay.
yes, and remember he was doing. For FPL purposes, he was quite a decent output for a cheap price. It's just that he had the injuries towards the end of the second half of the season and end up not being able to show or play, and as a result, he's still there with Bournemouth. So it'll be interesting to see.
Okay.
But Villa is still. I'll be interesting to see whether Gerrard can push on with Villa. Yeah, I think he's
Okay.
got. The owners have backed him in terms of the investment, so now he needs to really come up with the results. And the biggest challenge for Gerrard is to get Villa to win against the big teams, something that he wasn't able to do last season.
Yep. I think we can jump to the next 8 matches. We just want to have a look what
Yeah,
we can
let's
offer.
take a look.
So this actually from Holly Shan Twitter. I actually extract this
Thanks,
information
Holly.
from her Twitter. We can see game week 1 to 8 fixture. Why we are doing this? Because the international break, the first international break will be on game week after game week 8. So I think it's practical to see for the next 8 matches what kind of teams that we can target, even though we do not have any prices on the players yet. But we can see there, as mentioned, Arsenal is actually on top of the ticker. Only Manchester United, so-called, in the top 6 that they're going to play. Okay, but the rest is still green all the way. And the second, we can see Brighton to a point. The first match against Manchester United only. Right after that, mostly after the bottom 10 and below. The likes of Liverpool, we won't deny, also going to have a February matches. I still remember, man, Liverpool has the same February matches early season last year.
Yeah.
So they have this kind of matches to perform that I feel they will continue to attract a lot of managers to pick in terms of
Okay.
new players.
I haven't checked this. Do you know which game week the transfer window shuts? Is it game week 4?
It could be going before. It could be. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's something also for us to all remember as well, that as the game week starts, the transfer window is still open. So new additions, critical changes could end up still happening. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I think this is the first time in ages, as you mentioned, that we've seen a. Actually, I don't know. Have we ever had international break that after 8 game weeks
I
only the
don't think
first?
so. I don't say
Yeah,
usually after game week 3 and game week 4 will be the first international.
yeah, and let's not forget, for this season will be the first time that you will also end up the whole league will come to a halt because of the World Cup happening in Qatar.
Yeah, the World Cup will make
So
a difference. Yeah.
So there's a lot of speculation there with FPL. What are they gonna do? Are they gonna give us another wild card after the
16, I
World
think.
Cup?
Yeah.
Or are they just gonna, because remember, normally we have two this season we had, so are we just still gonna have two and they just put the second wild card after the World Cup finishes? So we'll see how
Yeah,
it
we
goes.
can only speculate right now. Yep.
I guess, yeah. The only question now is whether or not whether a COVID may still play a part in this in the fixtures. So hopefully not. We don't wish the best, and hopefully that doesn't happen.
Yep. So I mean, if you can see from the beginning fixture, Arsenal has the best ticker so called. So definitely you definitely, if let's say Arsenal, I don't expect them to be increased in price, especially on Saka that much. He could actually one of the player that you're gonna look at if is going to continue to perform the talisman of the team, and he's going to take the penalty. I think maybe he's the one, definitely the first player that managers going to get target for Arsenal player, man.
Yeah. So so one thing, of course, this season was a bit of a honeymoon with Arsenal because we have the likes of Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, and Emil Smith Rowe, all cheap, really cheap, about 5.8, 6.1. Six. I think Saka was the most expensive at, and I think he ended at 6.3 or something. So we were able, most of the season we were able to have one Arsenal player, because Arsenal style of play meant, when especially against favorable oppositions, they'll get in the points. So again, we don't know yet what will happen with the pricing. I suspect the likes of Saka will definitely go up in price. There's likes of Martinelli, who a lot of us had at 5.1. So I don't think that's gonna happen. But anyway, coming back to the fixtures, yeah, Arsenal's look good, don't it? Even if you think that Crystal Palace is out, then you got Leicester at home, Bournemouth away, Fulham home, Villa home, even Manchester United away. At the moment, I wouldn't say that's a tough match either. So then Everton home and Brentford away. So definitely good for the likes of attacking. I see Arsenal will continue with their attacking style. But let's not overlook Brighton in that second spot. So Brighton definitely has a great stretch of matches as well. Of course, West Ham looks like the hardest matchup on paper in that 8-week stretch, but everything else looks potential points is there. And remember that I mentioned earlier that they started off last season quite well, and so this could happen as well for this season.
Okay, I mean, let's say Ramsdale price at 5.0, say we are not sure, maybe 5.5. Let's say 5.5, maybe a bit tougher, but if let's say his price at 5, Arsenal with this fixture, he could actually pick what you call this keeper season, and you just keep him for the next 8 matches he play. Or the other option that I can see there is Brighton and Brentford can offer 4.5 million keeper, Raya or even Sanchez, or if let's say you could get both and then play and pick one of them, whoever has the better fixture. Maybe that could be another potential.
Yeah, I'm not sure about as in a rotation, those two keepers. Yeah, I guess it's doable. Although Brentford's defense is not as solid as Brighton's. I think they're quite susceptible against the attacking teams, but I don't know. But yeah, I mean, just looking on the basis of fixtures, yeah, you'd want that because so you mentioned Brentford, yeah. So Brentford are also. I mean, now Ericsson will get that full season with Brentford.
If he's still there.
Yeah. So let me see. So, but otherwise, it's interesting to see. I know we just jumped over Liverpool there, but that's okay. I mean, I think a lot of people have already talked about Liverpool, but we'll tackle them in a minute. I like Brentford. So if Brentford, one of the survivors from the promoted sides from last season, so will he do well? Let's see.
Yep. I mean, so why not we go to the bottom of the ticker where we can see the newly promoted Fulham Bournemouth are down there because they have tough matches coming up. Fulham, you can see Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs, and Chelsea. They need to entertain for the next first 8 matches.
Yeah.
Bournemouth have Man City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. Crystal Palace also they have to play Liverpool and Man City. So
Yeah.
this could be the team to be avoided for the first 8 matches, man.
Yeah, definitely avoid at the start. I mentioned earlier how Bournemouth looks interesting, but then the fixtures alone will take it off. having said that, yeah. So Palace, I mentioned how it looks a favorable match for Arsenal, but after that, it's really tough. They've got, I mean, Crystal Palace and Bournemouth both have Liverpool and Manchester City in game weeks 2 and game week 4. So they basically changing around the opponents. First, okay, you take Liverpool this week, I'll take Manchester City 2 weeks later, and then vice versa. So it doesn't look good at all. So definitely will avoid. You can't see them. As you mentioned, you probably want to just wait until after game week 8 and then take another look and see. I haven't. I'll be honestly, I haven't looked at game week 9 and beyond. I don't think I'm not the type who can look that far ahead. But I mean, even you go further up and the likes of Southampton, that looks really hard as well. You got Spurs, okay, so Leeds fine, but Leicester, Manchester United, Chelsea, Wolves, okay, let's remember that Wolves, their defense is pretty solid. Yeah, so
Yep.
it's not a fixture that I would think that points would come easy. So I definitely put Wolves into the solid defense bracket as well. Um, any else? Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. Everton's at the bottom half as well. Even Manchester United at the bottom half. Um, so okay, hang on. So I'm
Yep.
I'm just taking a look at Manchester United, and I'm thinking it doesn't look so bad actually.
Okay. Fair.
Brighton, yeah, Brighton home, Brentford away. Okay, the Liverpool one is could really go south, but after that is Southampton, Leicester, Arsenal at home, Crystal and Leeds. Yeah, that's
LA
definitely.
Manchester have these two so-called favorable matches against Brighton and Brentford. Let's say their
Mm.
assets starts to perform, then maybe after Liverpool match, you can pick them or you can choose them, or maybe you can gamble for the first 2 weeks and then they say it doesn't go according to your plan, you can jump to other assets.
So it
But
really is. We want to see what the friendlies, especially for Manchester United, how they line up, won't we? Um,
But main I can see Liverpool and Man City. You can see there only favorable matches. I can see you'll be definitely picking Liverpool and Man City asset. The likes of Haaland and Salah, definitely the pricing will become a factor. But those players are definitely
yeah.
the optimal one that you're gonna pick based on this
The,
fixture.
the
Hmm.
funny thing is with Helen is a question of if we don't pick Helen, then who will we pick? But we still want Manchester City assets. So it'd be interesting to see when Helen comes in, how Pep will
Yep.
rearrange the team. We could, I don't know, and that's where the friendlies and the pre-season will play a part, and then we'll see. Because who knows? Foden, who was quite critical, we might see even him getting, not playing simply because Helen.
All right. So
So yeah, sorry. So for Manchester City, um, okay. So last season we didn't. We were surprised to see that Pep didn't really rotate as much compared to previous seasons. So now with Haaland in the picture, it'll be interesting to see. And don't forget, there are still players like Jesus who are looking to leave. So yeah, I don't think he's left. I don't think he's left yet, right?
okay, yep, no. But since you're mentioning that the new season will be different in terms of substitution, they are going to introduce 5 substitution instead of 3. And with this, there is could be probability more players managing in terms of minutes. So that's another thing whether Haaland going to play the full 90
Yeah.
minutes.
So
You're not too sure.
you're right. So this is, I mean, in my opinion, it's such a big advantage for bigger squads, like Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea, because they can really utilize their bench, and but of course, when I say that, I mean from a footballing perspective, it's gonna be really risky for us from a FPL perspective. So we might see the likes of, even Salah. Who knows, because he's such a plays so much, he rarely gets subbed off, But now, one if it's comfortably in the lead, why not? Take him off, bring someone in. get some fresh legs and keep him rested. So now that option is more possible. So I don't know. Yeah.
Correct.
But that's why if you want to go for the likes, I mean, taking for example, or let me take one example, Raul Jimenez, for Wolves. It's unlikely we'll see him getting subbed off. Until unless there's someone, because they rely on him so much. Unless they have, unless they bring in reinforcements. But there are certain players like Spurs, even Spurs, Harry Kane. Well, so far they haven't brought in anyone who could replace, who could if he get injured. That's the thing with Spurs. They've always been this case. Like, what happens if Harry Kane gets injured? What then? They don't seem to have a plan. I don't know so we'll see whether or not they bring in some more reinforcements for him.
Okay, I'm excited to see, especially when we see the preseason starts. We know in terms of minutes, who plays a lot of minutes there, then we can forecast who's the probability player that's
Yeah.
going to start in game week 1.
Okay, and just a quick one, because I mentioned Gabriel Jesus and Arsenal are on the top of the ticker at the moment. Today, there's rumors that Gabriel Jesus might reach an agreement today with Arsenal, so it'll be interesting to see. And definitely, because one problem position for Arsenal is the forward position.
Yep.
Lacazette
And we know Lacazette already leave the
Yeah.
Arsenal team. Yep.
Yeah, so Lacazette was poor, but Nketiah did actually step up. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough as Arsenal failed to get into the Champions League.
Okay, man. As usual, Rakan FPS has question for us, even though the season has not started yet. We just see, as we mentioned, game week 1, definitely Son versus Salah question on captaincy will pop up. We're still early days, but this could be the conversation on game week 1, man.
Okay, firstly, I'd just like to welcome our loyal friend Rakan FPL. Thank you for joining us on this. I'll be honest, we weren't sure if there would be anyone because it's so early and a lot of people are still on holiday. Mentally, I'm not quite, I'm not even there yet, but it was great to come back. So thanks, Rakan FPL, for the question. So Son versus Southampton. So we know how Son exploded and ended up winning the Golden Boot last season. It'd be interesting. It depends. It's the big advantage.
It'll be interesting conversation, man, on game week 1. Definitely.
Son,
Kane,
Yeah.
Salah.
Let's not forget Son is at home. But Salah is against a promoted side. Okay, if you wanna range the arguments, Southampton can be quite solid. Yeah. So Southampton are that team that they either really solid or they go to 7-0s, random collapses. So
Southampton has that tendency. They can go really soft.
Yeah, but again, Salah's record against promoted sides is really strong. Yeah, regardless whether it's home or away. So the only, for me, I veer towards Salah. Okay, but
fair.
if but let's assume Salah is still around. Okay, if Salah isn't around, let's say Salah isn't around, would you go for a Liverpool player for his captaincy? Because if Salah isn't around, I mean, let's face it, Mane isn't going to be around either. So if Nunes,
Mane could be around. Could he the man? Could
who?
Diaz be the man?
Yeah. So if Diaz it's considered a differential, it's gotten to that point, is it? I don't know. I mean, we saw arguably Diaz was one of the best, if not the best January transfer for the Premier League. I think Bruno might be second.
Bruno G and Kulusevski maybe somewhere that's conversation.
Kulusevski, yeah, let's not rule out Kulusevski, who had such a brilliant and pretty much helped push Spurs towards the Champions League spots. Yeah, let's not forget that. But Diaz, so a lot of us shied away from going with Diaz last season, because we were so worried about rotation. But in the end, Diaz turned out to be a first pick, and he pretty much displaced Jota from the
Yep.
starting lineup. Yeah, yeah, and they reshuffled the attacking position. So instead, previously where Mane was on the left, Jota was in the middle, and Salah is on the right. Then instead, when Diaz came in, when Diaz on the left, Mane went into the middle. So now, if Salah stays, then it'll probably be Diaz, Nunes, and Salah. But if Salah leaves, then I don't know. But Nunes does become a more interesting option. But let's face it, he's new to the Premier League. Will you risk captaining him even though you know he's going to start? You might pick him, but you want to pick a unproven person. Liverpool,
Yep.
regardless, over
Yep.
the
We,
likes of Son or Harry Kane. So
yep.
that's something else.
Yep,
Yeah.
we know the feeling. I have the feeling like Werner that when a lot of people hype on him, but he's still unproven at that
Ah,
2 years back, and then he he,
okay.
he falters. So we need to be careful that kind of thing. Okay, we,
But
we
but
just never know.
but a counter argument though is Haaland, because the thing is we know so much about Haaland based on in internationals, and there's so much hype about him um, before the season ended last season, that the rumors had already started, so we actually know a lot more about him. But you would, arguably, I think people would look at might captain Haaland more over captaining Nunes. Yeah,
Yep.
simply because
Yep.
Nunes was a bit of a surprise, wasn't it? It wasn't like there was a slow build up. It was,
Yeah.
and we didn't even know that Liverpool were targeting him until just a few weeks before the actual transfer. So,
Yep.
so
A lot of shiny toys, man, for the new season. Haaland,
we could go
Nunes.
on and on, couldn't
Okay.
we? Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm excited for the new season, and hopefully, definitely the first game week will start on 6th of August. There,
yeah,
maybe 1 month away or more away, but we know the FPL going to really soon. Okay,
yeah.
if let's say last year, 1 month before the first game week, they already release it and release all the prize playing for all players. So
Okay,
soon we're going to have this. I mean,
yeah. Can I also just touch on Chelsea? It'll be, I think there'll be a lot of interest with Chelsea assets as well. The fixtures look quite good. Let's taking out Spurs. You got Everton, Leeds, Leicester, Southampton, West Ham, Fulham. Yeah, before Liverpool, which probably skewed a bit. I think if Liverpool wasn't there, that Chelsea might go up a couple more spaces.
yep,
But if you remember that, we looked at Reece James as a crazy explosive option. So it'd be interesting to see how Tuchel makes use of him this time. Because we saw him being played as a right centre back instead of a right wing back, and where most of the FPL points came. But one thing we know that he's managing those injuries. Without Rudiger as well anymore, so it'll be also
yep,
interesting to see. We know that Rudiger was really key to Chelsea's defense. So
yep,
but otherwise it does look good for Chelsea if they can find the right momentum. Lukaku, and now will be in the second season. Can he push on?
if he's still there, we are not sure.
You don't look confident.
We are not sure whether he's still gonna be there. So see how it goes.
Um, I know I've been talking a lot, but I just want to spare thought for Nottingham Forest. So unlike their fellow two promoted sides, they've got a better fixtures. Um, but of course, they were the last. They qualified in the playoffs rather than in the ranks. But yeah, looking at that, it's not bad, But I would only look at them after game week 5. Yeah, because we don't know. We'll have a good idea. Then after that, Spurs, Manchester City, and then Bournemouth, Leeds, and Fulham are all look pretty decent matches. So just I wanted to give a shout out to our mutual friend. We have a friend who's an avid Nottingham Forest, which is Francis Wolf. So I'm definitely going to be talking to him a lot more this season because he's been a
Okay, good.
Forest follower for ages. He doesn't really play. I think he did play FPL, but not so much anymore. But he'll be a good source if we want to find out
Yep.
more. Yeah.
definitely. And I can see, if let's say Forest wins against Newcastle away, you definitely a lot of bargain players that people are going to pick up
Yeah.
and become bandwagon. Even though Spurs and Man City sandwich between game week 4 and 5. All right. I think that's all we want to cover for the first reaction at least. Okay. At least we warm up before the the season starts. And
Yep.
thank you all for watching. And
Yeah.
see you guys.
Yep. Thank you for those who managed to tune in for our first episode. And obviously we can talk a lot. It feels because we haven't talked in ages, but of course, let's face it, the FPL game isn't up yet. Yeah, and
Yep.
so we can't really make any. And of course, there's still a lot of transfers going on. So but it's good to touch base and start from here.
Thank you guys. Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye. We'll see you again.